It's time to get out of your comfort zone. I have some messages in this video, but I have additional messages that will be on my OnlyFans. I didn't know if I would be able to upload a video right away after yesterday's upload and live, but I managed to be able to squeeze in some time to do this video. Although I'm still on break, so I'm not socializing much on the platforms. However, I wanted to make sure that I got you this message. So it's time to get out of your comfort zone. You should actually be planning something new to do, a new hobby, a new type of challenge, possibly, some new activity, possibly something that you've done maybe only a few times in the past. This would be a good time to try it, even possibly make it a little challenge. So let's say back in the day, you went dancing, you took some dance lessons like 3 times. This is the time to do it again. But maybe take different dance lessons, like try a different dance or go somewhere else to take the dance lessons, or go and meet someone and take the dance lessons with someone. You got to change it up a bit, but you got to do something that feels like you've never really done it before, or you haven't done it in such a long time that it feels like you're doing it again for the first time. So that's what the angels told me to tell you. We're going to look at the little list that I made, which they also told me to tell you that you need to be making a list, some notes of some things that you want to do or you want to speak about. You need to be organized. You need to have this stuff already written down. So you have to be very prepared. So they're telling me to start saying yes to more things that scare you. So you may say, oh, traveling scares me. I don't like to travel alone. Well, go ahead and do it at least one time over the next 30 days. You can plan that scary travel trip today. That way you've at least done it. So you've done it spiritually. You haven't done it physically, but you've done it spiritually once you've done it in your mind and you planned it. So you want to start planning to do some things that scare you, but make sure they're safe and they're not going to hurt you or anybody else. The things that you do. So leap out of your comfort zone. So they're not saying like, oh, walk slowly out of your comfort zone. They're saying just leap right in. So for example, today when I woke up, I said, I really don't like to walk around in the morning hours during the day, especially not in this neighborhood. So I was going to just like sit in the house because it was my comfort zone. I leaped out of my comfort zone. I literally just put on my shoes and went outside while there's light out and just did it. I am mostly a night person, and I've been switching over to the morning shift, and it's been a little difficult. So I'm out of my comfort zone walking around so early in the day outside. I like my energy privacy. Copyright. Do not use that without my permission. Okay. I like my energy privacy, meaning I'm someone that like to be stingy with my energy when I'm walking, doing a walk meditation. So it's harder for me to go out during the early morning hours when I know people are getting in their cars, people are looking out their windows. And so it makes me kind of like uncomfortable. I'm an introvert, mostly an introvert. So I'm a little uncomfortable with that, but I did it today. That was me leaping out of my comfort zone. So the next thing they told me to tell you is to embrace the unknown with open arms. So let's say, for example, somebody say, hey, I have a party I'm having tonight. You want to come? Even though you don't know the specifics of the party, you just know it's safe, it's legal, but you don't know who's coming. You don't know how long it's going to be. You don't know what they're serving. You don't know who's going to be there. You still just go. So that's kind of going into the unknown, like things you're not that familiar with. even creative things and projects that you're not that trained to do, you can learn it as you do it. So you can stop and get some tips, get some lessons, and then start again. So don't expect to know something perfectly, how to do it perfectly before you do it. Just go in and do it. And hey, you come across a problem, you stop and you solve it, and then you jump right back into the project and keep it moving. So the next thing they told me to tell you, and I say the angels when I say they're saying that there's a challenge and an obstacle that you're going to overcome. You're being tested right now. I find that it could be in your personal life, in our personal life. It could be in our family life, and it could be how we connect and approach our soul plan, our gifts. That could be the obstacle. How you think of yourself when you go to do your gifts, how you feel about yourself when you think of your soul plan. Do you think you're worthy? Do you think you can do it? Do you think you should do it? Do you think that you're somebody that can do it? So I think that those are how you answering those questions can determine whether those questions are obstacles. So you have to think positive so that those obstacles will go away. The obstacles of how you feel about yourself and how you allow other people to make you feel. So if you're going around in your head over and over again about whether you're worthy, whether you can do it, that's an obstacle. So you have to find a way to break through holding yourself up and giving you a delay, giving your own self a delay and just getting started with taking care of yourself, loving yourself more, even when others aren't, and loving what you're doing, even if someone said that you can't do it. You still just do it. You have to get to that point. There are affirmations, there are spiritual books you can read, and there are tips all on YouTube. You can look through YouTube and find these tips where you can get through any mental blockage that's keeping you procrastinating at doing things you need to do for yourself or breaking free from people who are holding your progress up. So that's something to think about. The next thing on the list is they're saying is be careful of dealing with people who may just be lusting over you or want you to lust over them. So they may yo-yo you where they're not about you one week and then they're about you another week. Be careful of that cycle right now where someone may make you think that you're able to change their mind about you when you're really not going to change their mind about you. Their mind could be made up, but they're making you think you could change their mind about you because they want to string you along. So they're not going to change their mind about you. I don't know who this person is, but that came as like a little mini download, but also as an angel message today. And it also had an angel number message that was sent to me right before I got on this video. So I'm also being told to be careful of chasing attention. Ask yourself these questions. Am I chasing attention? Do someone got me kind of low-key begging for their approval or attention? And I don't know that I am. They're tricking me to do it. Am I like kind of lusting over somebody and don't know I am? Am I thinking about someone who I slept with before and I'm kind of like low-key like lusting over them? See, all that is going to create procrastination when you're trying to explore new things and do new things you never did and get out of your comfort zone and achieve new things and do new hobbies. That's going to all be stagnant if you keep on thinking about people who just keep you waiting, and yet they breadcrumb you so good that you keep waiting for them. You don't want to do that. Be careful of being obsessed with the idea of something working out that doesn't want to work out. Some things are never going to work out. Okay, that's just the truth. It's not it's not something in your life that's been chosen to work out. It could be a relationship, an old relationship, a family relationship. It's just not meant to work out. Its season has passed. So stop thinking about how it once was a little good, so maybe it could work out. You got to think about the time you put in and all the effort you put in, and how those people did not match your energy or match your effort. And if that went on so long and they didn't match, it's not going to work out. Okay, it's not. You could say it's not in your soul plan. Those people who you dealt with or dealing with are not in your soul plan for it to work out, the relationship to work out. They're just going to destroy your soul plan or keep it stagnant. And I do want to say that sometimes that spell work on you when you're obsessed with the idea of something working out, where you're just like, oh, if I do this differently, this will work out between me and this person, or this will work out on the job. My employer will treat me better, and I'll get a raise if I just show up differently, if I act differently, talk differently, if I approach them differently. And you get caught in that cycle for years and years and years. That could be spell work. Always keep track of when you keep on being in that type of rotation, believing that if you just keep at it with that person or that employer, it'll change. It takes two to make it work. If they're not trying to meet you halfway to make it work, and it's been going on for years, it's probably never going to work. And I know some of y'all can't just walk out on family members because of any ties you have. And I know some of y'all can't just walk out of a job because of ties you have. But you can distance yourself from it so that you're not in that cycle of charging in, thinking you can make it work or make it like it was again, knowing damn well that every time you try to do that, you hit you're blocked. It doesn't happen. Somewhere or another, if they block you or you both just bump heads, you don't want to get stuck in that cycle. You get stuck in that cycle, your soul plan is sitting around waiting for you. And guess what? Whatever you don't do in your soul plan, the Most High will choose somebody else to do. You don't get to just keep your soul plan gifts and ideas and inspirational stuff just to sit and collect dust. The Most High gonna take the energy of it and give it to somebody else to do. And then when you get back at it, you're going to find out somebody else already did it. They're getting their money for it. Let me tell you a little story. When I used to work at a bank a couple years ago, I would come up with all these ideas while I was doing data entry. And this guy that sat next to me, he was coming up with ideas. We was thinking of movie scripts and all of that. But we both started to get obsessed with impressing the employer and chasing petty bonuses, small bonuses on the job, and the competition on the job. We got obsessed with that. We even started to try to impress the bosses with our personality and stuff. And I noticed that all of a sudden we wasn't inspired anymore. We wasn't coming up with any literary ideas when we would talk to each other. I noticed that we just didn't care about it anymore. We were just so obsessed with keeping up in the competition of the job for little small bonuses. What ended up happening is our ideas, like about 9 months later, we found out that our ideas, our literary scripts we were coming up with on the job, somebody thought of them. Somebody made them movies on Netflix. So I got to go to Netflix sometime, and I got to see that my literary ideas and plots and stories are in 2 movies on Netflix. And I know that I came up with them first. So you got to be careful of distractions, of becoming obsessed with something that needs to just go in the garbage. So think about that when you go to deal with people that have been holding you up. If they've been holding you up in your soul plan over and over and over again, 9 times out of 10, that's what they intend to do. They probably know they're doing it. People know, that you live with and people that you dealt with And when they ask about you and research about you, they know when you stop doing your gifts and stuff. So they can tell, like, okay, you're not doing your gifts every time I come back around. So I know that I'm the one probably doing it. They just don't care. They just don't care. So you might as well stop dealing with people that always seem to put you in a stagnant energy after you communicate with them, thinking that you're going to work things out with them, and it just never happens. So I have some other messages I want to give out today, but I have to wait till I do the other stuff I have to do. But I will be giving out some of these messages on my OnlyFans today. If you want to join my OnlyFans, you can join my OnlyFans at Victoria's Nest / I'm sorry, y'all. Let me start over. My OnlyFans is onlyfans.com / Victoria's Nest. So I'll be giving some more messages out on there. I have plenty of messages to give on a daily basis. I have some really important ones I'm looking at on the screen now. I know with me, I have been struggling with being more prepared. So that's another thing. You need to sit down today and think about where your major struggle area is at. And that is probably what has been keeping you procrastinating and stagnant. Not being organized is one of the main reasons why people don't finish projects. They're not prepared. I'm going to leave you with this little statement, sort of, that Steve Chandler said. Steve Chandler is the author of the book 100 Ways to Stay Motivated. And he says 3 hours, he says planning saves you 3 hours of work. I want you to think about that. That's going to be a part of a discussion that I'm going to be having on my OnlyFans today, because I found out today through an angel download that is like one of the main important things you got to come to understand if you're ever going to really get the blessings you want to get. Our angel guides are prepared. They know exactly what they're supposed to give to us. They know exactly what our thoughts were. We have to start realizing that this earth was not created by just like accident. Oh, stuff was just thrown out here and then the earth came to be. There was a system. There was a routine. There was a timing. There was a season, and there was a plan, and there was strategies. There was so much. You have to be like that. You have to have that kind of mindset. That's a whole different kind of mindset, separate from how you feel about yourself and if you feel worthy. We have multiple mindsets. That's a whole nother mindset. That's a whole nother class. And being prepared to do your soul plan. That's a class you got to just give a couple hours to, maybe like once a week, so that you stay prepared and that you don't mess up and fall behind. Because as I said, you fall behind on your soul plan, the odds are you may lose out. Somebody else will get the blessing instead of you. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to let me know. If you feel like this video was beneficial and you want to give me a donation compliment, I call it a donation compliment, you can send money to my Cash App at @Coach V Hunter. All lowercase letters. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.